In this video, I'm going to be discussing the truth about magazines, whether that's rifle magazines or pistol magazines. And the truth about magazines is this: they are disposable components to your firearm, and they need to be replaced from time to time. And that's something that's sometimes hard for people that are new to firearms to kind of deal with. Because particularly you get your handgun, it comes in this nice plastic case with 2 or 3 magazines, and you got your gun and you feel all prepared and ready to rock and roll, and you don't realize that magazines are disposable, and that from time to time you're going to need to switch out your old mags with new magazines. So I've got some magazines here that broke, some Magpul mags that shed lips, and I've been saving them up to be able to do this video. And I can harvest components off these magazines, but you'll notice that because they're broken, I have put tape over them and I have set them aside from all my other magazines so they don't get mixed back in. If you have a semi-automatic rifle or semi-automatic handgun, and this could probably also go for bolt-action rifles as well. If you have a rifle or handgun that takes a detachable magazine and that firearm starts to have problems, it's likely that the magazine is causing those problems. And from time to time, you're going to need to replace or discard magazines to minimize stoppages. So recently, I was shooting with some of my friends that are relatively new to semi-automatic handguns and other firearms, and I noticed that they were treating their magazines very carefully. So they didn't want to drop their magazines on the ground. They were treating them very delicately because they look at these magazines and they see cash. They see a dollar value. This is like a $25, $35 magazine, and you drop those on the ground and oh my goodness. So the problem is their manipulation of the handgun and their effectiveness to fight with the gun was being hampered by their worry and concern about dropping magazines on the ground, because they viewed these as expensive and valuable, rather than something that from time to time they're going to have to replace. Magazines, whether they're rifle mags or pistol mags, are basically tires for your car. Okay? They fulfill that same role. They need to be replaced from time to time. So I've done some things to minimize the amount of magazines I need to replace, particularly when it comes to handgun mags. So you can see these are some of my training magazines, and I keep them in this little bag. And I've got 4 of them, 2 15-rounders, 2 17-rounders, and you can see they have T1, T2, T3, T4. These are my training magazines. These are the mags I throw on the ground when I go training and when I go shooting with friends, whether that's plinking or go to a class training. These are the mags that go with me, and sometimes I may include others in that, but these are my primary training magazines, which means that if these get beat up, I just throw these away and I get new magazines that become my training mags, and I'm able to keep my other mags, my carry mags, in pristine condition. So here are 2 of my training mags. You'll notice they're still numbered. They've got TGT on them, TheGearTester. You can see here that these are also numbered. So I number them and mark them so that I know which magazines are my personal magazines. I also do that because if I start having malfunctions and I pull my mag out and I see that's mag number 5, then I continue to shoot it and it still has problems, I am able to say, hey, mag number 5 has gotten a problem with the feed lips or something. The magazine's a problem. I'm tossing that out. All my other mags are working just fine. So you need to have training mags when you can afford them. As you can afford them, buy some magazines specifically for training, or use some of your old magazines now as training mags and get new magazines and kind of move them through, keeping the newest magazines as your carry mags. That would be perfectly acceptable to do as well. But you need to have them marked and numbered so you can tell the difference, and you need to understand that if your firearm starts to have reliability problems, that the reality is you probably need to replace the magazines. If you like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel and support our sponsors, affiliates, and friends. Companies like Tops Knives, Excess Sights, Valley Food Storage, and OCCAM Defense Solutions. This is the Gear Tester signing off.